Texas Podcast Massacre contains spoilers and adult language. For more horror, visit us at our website at texaspodcastmassacre.com.
She was working in a bridal shop in Flushing, Queens, till her boyfriend kicked her out in one of those crushing scenes. What was she to do? Where was she to go? She was out on her fanny. So over the bridge from Flushing to the Sheffield's door, she was there to sell makeup, but the father saw more. She had style, she had flair, she was there. That's how she became the nanny.
This is Texas Podcast Massacre.
Welcome to another episode of Texas Podcast Massacre, coming to you from Houston, Texas. I'm your host, Mitch, and with me, as always, are my bright day companions. Nate.
I was in charge of the salad dressing.
It was disgusting. We're not letting you do that again. And Lisa.
I'm so traumatized by this movie, I don't have a quote.
Really?
Yeah.
Really, very traumatized.
It's not good.
That's unfortunate for you.
Yeah.
Well, welcome to another episode of Texas Podcast Massacre, where each week we take a look at a different horror movie, we discuss and we debate a horror-related debate topic with our unsuspecting victims, who are usually people we would not consider horror fans. Well, this week we've got several moms in the house.
3 phases of momdom.
3 phases of momdom. So
is that the name of this episode? I think I already got it.
It might be. So representing our unsuspecting victims who are a little further along in their motherhood. Jill, welcome back.
Sup.
Lisa is sort of in between.
Lisa's the tweener? Is that
the tweener in this case?
I'm the one not sleeping right now.
Yeah.
Oh, no, I'm that one too.
Yeah, that's true. That's true.
This can we mom off? Is that a surprise?
She has twins. She always wins.
And then to represent the ones that are expecting still.
Hello.
Amanda, welcome.
Thank you.
So, Jill, as having the older kids, the twins from The Shining in this case, let me ask, this movie, The Hand That Rocks the Cradle, does it impact your nanny search going forward?
Oh my God, yes.
Was this very poorly or well timed by this podcast to have you on this episode?
Poorly. Very poorly.
It's what not to do.
Think about it this way. Yeah, this is helping you do the vetting process.
It's traumatized me beyond repair.
We truly take it as our social mission to help people of all walks of life make it through life, survive another day. Think about the things you shouldn't do. So we were trying to help prepare you for your nanny search.
Yeah,
you don't feel that way.
I don't feel any sort of gratitude whatsoever.
Nate,
that's
need
the
to work
inspirational
on
quote above like Mitch's bed. Like every morning, he just reads that.
Yeah, right in the mirror as well, just everywhere I go. Yeah, Nate, we need to work on our PR mission statement. Then, if the message isn't getting out, clearly it didn't get
that's
received as well.
Maybe we should start. Maybe we should be part of an agency to help us out. Apparently, freelance not the way to go.
No, clearly not. Now, Amanda, for you, did this help? Did you help think forward for when your baby's here, your nanny, how you're going to handle the nanny search?
I'm going to say we're not going to go with a nanny.
Yeah.
Let's go daycare with cameras.
Daycare with cameras.
Daycare sounds good.
That's the problem, and we'll get into this movie. This movie, technology makes this movie basically not existent. But we'll get into that later.
This movie ages like unpasteurized milk. It is not long for the world it was made in.
Crown Royal Maple?
No, Crown Royal Maple.
The Crown Maple is actually like after the nuclear holocaust. Like the cockroaches drink the Crown Royal Maple and then die. Like that's how it'll work.
That's what kills them.
Well, don't forget the
Crown
Twinkies.
Royal and Twinkies.
Yeah. Crown Royal Maple and Twinkies sounds. I feel gross. I sick just even. Anyway.
Is there like a way like we can get like not sponsored by Crown Royal Maple and like in the stock market,
like
in the stock market, you can like short a stock. We're gonna like short sponsor Crown Royal Maple.
Crown Royal Maple, we will still hawk your shit if you want us to.
Sure.
Nate doesn't know what he's saying. So before we get into The Hand That Rocks the Cradle, let's get into a little bit of a debate question then.
We will see how the Lord favors you.
No, you dare not blaspheme. He will punish you. The jaws of hell will devour you. All of you. No.
Okay, so in this movie, the mom in this one we'll get into
what's her
characters and all
name?
that.
You don't remember her name at all?
Doesn't matter.
Anyone name?
No.
You wrote it down, didn't you?
Yeah, I mean, because I watched the movie.
Not Claire.
Claire. Yes.
It was Claire. It was
Yes.
Claire.
Okay.
Good
Well
job.
played.
So Claire has a hobby of hers is she has a greenhouse. She grows shit.
She volunteers at like one of the largest greenhouses I've ever seen in my life.
Yeah.
Isn't she a botanist?
No, but she volunteers there.
Yeah, but isn't she sort of a botanist?
She's an
Probably.
amateur.
I thought she
Volunteer
just.
botanist.
I thought she just
Yeah.
enjoy. I mean,
Yeah.
at what point are you become a botanist versus just a hobbyist with it? Regardless,
I'm pretty sure when you build a giant one in your backyard, you're a botanist.
Well, I build
Or
this
when you
giant
debate
studio.
roots.
No one's calling me a producer. I mean,
I mean, I am. You're producing the podcast.
aw.
But,
Thanks, Nate. No, so her hobby inadvertently is part of a murder, really kind of the murder in this movie.
Yeah.
So my question is, do you have a hobby that, you could see maybe being a part of a friend's potential murder from a jealous nanny?
Whoa,
And we all think about this quite a bit.
Just a friend's potential murder.
A friend's potential murder.
I see.
Yes,
Okay.
from a potentially, I don't know.
Wait, what were you thinking he was saying? No,
I thought he meant a friend's murder. I cut him off at the pass at friend's murder. I don't know. Reel it back in, man.
No, it's friends a friend's murder, not
A friend's murder.
yeah. We're gonna just keep saying a friend's murder,
Yeah.
and presumably
A
my
friend's
outside
murder?
will understand.
my friendly murderer. The making of a friendly murderer.
All right, so Nate, why don't you jump in first on this?
Sure,
one?
yeah. So in this movie, a greenhouse is used to like almost Home Alone-esque effect in the death of a friend. I was trying to think for me, hobby-wise, we don't really go out. We don't really have a whole lot of outside stuff, do we?
Well, occasionally.
Occasionally, but not that often. But one of the main things we do outside is use like the lawn care equipment, right? To like do things. So every week, mowing,
you mow your yard,
mowing, edging, all that.
Nate
shit.
translation, he does yard work.
Exactly.
That's a lame hobby.
That is a lame hobby.
What I was thinking is God, imagine how grisly of a death it would be if you did something with a lawnmower and that came back on you. That would be pretty brutal. But the thing is, my friend would not be there doing that for me. Mitch, unless... So my friend wouldn't be doing that for me. So
I have since been diagnosed as allergic to nature. So no, I will not be outside for any foreseeable.
God, what a setup for a horror movie that is. Like you're allergic to being outside and then something happens where you have to save Lisa outside.
I feel like
all of a sudden, like, what do you do?
Wouldn't
I
that
feel
be
like
like your passive murder then?
Like a passive murder?
Yeah, because you just stick him outside
all along.
Yeah.
So I use your allergy, not unlike the asthma in this movie.
It's the happening, basically.
Okay, the happening. So I was thinking, all right, so outside, probably not in the cards for my hobby, murdering my friend. But on the inside, I do have quite a lot of electronics and stuff hooked up. And Amanda always tells me that like all these cords are tangled everywhere and are gonna are like in the way and they look terrible. They could also get somebody killed. So you set up like an elaborate thing. Like, why does the HDMI not work? You go back there, all of a sudden you get like hung by some cords.
Or the little robot runs over the cord, strips it, and then somebody touches it.
Or like the Roomba hits you from behind, you like fall down something. Either way, pretty
I
great.
like it.
Yeah.
I
So I was thinking that.
Makes
So-
you go head first to some like sharp edge or
Exactly,
something.
yeah.
Yeah. Baby proof, Nate. That's why you baby proof. Lisa, how about you? What hobby do you have?
Yeah, so I'm trying to think how you would rig this, but I play piano, and we have a grand piano, so I'm sure if someone were malicious enough, they could rig a trap with the grand piano falling.
So Halloween at your house this year, we should be wary.
Yes.
Of the piano.
What I'm thinking,
if it's near the ceiling, don't walk under it.
So there is a Japanese horror film called Houseu, which is the Japanese sort of thing. House. Yeah.
It's house. Yeah.
I'm just, trying to be multicultural here, Nate. Okay. Trying to bring us to a new level
It's the
on this
word
podcast.
house. Okay.
No, but a piano legit eats a person. legit just eats.
Yeah, no, I know. You
a
showed me
person.
that clip.
It's incredible. It's incredible. It's terrible, but
So
it's
maybe
incredible.
is this some sort of like you put something that they want like under the piano and then they see it like, oh, I'll go grab that, and then you like it's like
the legs just fall
like
off
a
from
car up on a
underneath it,
jack, and you just like it like pops out.
Pretty much.
I would think it'd be more of a Final Destination, like they're leaning in and the piano wire like snaps and just like like saws her head off or something. No,
Wow. Okay. Y'all are scaring me now.
we've seen a lot of Final Destination.
Visibly like
I've seen a
recoiled from
lot
it.
of Final Destination, so this
Yeah.
all seems plausible to me, and why we pay for piano.
So piano related death.
Right?
Jill, how about you? What hobby would you have?
So one of my hobbies is yoga. And there's this particular kind of yoga called aerial yoga where I've never done it, but they use these
Silks.
Is it the silks?
Yeah, like the
Yeah.
are they called silks? I was just gonna say ribbons,
sounds
but
right.
they kind of like tie you up with them, and you do flips and stuff. And if you're a beginner, I feel like it would be really easy to get tangled up
Oh, yeah.
in that and eventually hung. And I feel like if you were an instructor, maybe you would have the ability to rig it so it would hang someone.
Or you just get them in an impossible position, they fall, and that's
that,
it.
That would work
Yep.
too.
Like, it would really strengthen your friendship. Like you learning the yoga that your friend's learning at your house, at their house. Seems
At their
plausible.
house.
Well, you have
Are
to
you
get them
gonna-
to your house to
No,
have
you
it
get
happen.
them to go out to the yoga studio with you.
Yeah.
I was gonna say you're gonna rig that at the house.
Well, it has
Then
to be
you're
at the
definitely
house.
dying.
Hanging from your
Yeah,
ceiling.
you're definitely dying. It's,
Yeah.
Okay. Yoga's a good one. I like that.
Yeah. Amanda, what about you?
I was just gonna say go camping.
oh, that'll kill
So
anybody.
easy one.
Yeah. Camping.
There's a lot of possibilities.
Yeah, well, and Amanda, we know.
Wait,
we know.
hold on a second. We're going camping in like 3 weeks. What's
Well,
wait, what? How have you
We'll
been
be in a
thinking
cabin.
about
It'll
this?
be
She's
okay.
got your baby. She
And
doesn't need you anymore.
Yeah,
and
basically.
for our listeners' benefit, Amanda legit camps.
Yeah, we legit can't.
See, they don't camp like I do, which is a very soft style of
That's
camping.
called glamping.
It's not quite glamping.
There's still
It's
no
not
toilet.
far removed.
It's only not
No,
glamping.
there's not a
It's
toilet.
the
That
same.
Yeah,
is-
that's not glamping. If
Yeah.
there's no toilet,
If
it's
there's
not
a
glamping.
car, if there's
We
a
are
car
cl-
nearby, it's
We are
glamping.
close to a Dairy Queen, so I guess.
Emergency
Yeah.
reserves.
Yeah.
So it's not the glamour part of glamping because there's a Dairy Queen around, so it's removing that, but it's the same general principle.
Yeah, if there's a car close by, it's glamping.
Last time we went camping, we brought 3 chairs, and we were like, "This is too much." Like
That was our glamping.
we brought chairs, those folding chairs.
Yeah.
That was the most they've ever brought ever.
That's
Yeah.
crazy.
So
Do you bring a tent?
yes,
Yes.
Oh, okay.
There are tents.
there are tents.
There's food.
There's food. Yeah.
Is there inflatable mattresses?
No.
No.
Why?
Well, there's like we have like little roll up mats.
Oh, you
they're
have
about
mats.
like, yeah.
And so
they're
you
yeah,
have
about-
without any air in them. You just like it's just
Oh.
it's like the
No, no, no,
flimsiest
yeah.
thing.
Like
Yeah.
a thick yoga mat, kind of.
kind of,
I
yeah.
don't
yeah.
use it. I don't use that.
Oh, I do.
Yeah.
There's-
Sleeping bag, ground,
Oh my lord.
done.
Yeah.
Wow.
All right. Well, yeah. No camping. I mean, a lot of opportunities.
So maybe
there.
you guys just died just because you tried camping how we camp. Maybe
Yeah.
that's how you
Yes.
get
I
killed.
would rather die than camp how you can.
Boom.
What about you, Mitch?
But see, all my hobbies, I feel like, lead into my soft, nerfy lifestyle. They're very safe and indoors. I mean,
Someone gets smothered in like a Nerf room.
it's like,
Is that what's happening?
effectively. I mean, most of my hobbies are music related. So sitting in here with all, I mean, you could have a sort of scream sort of scenario where someone's in here on the computer working on audio stuff, and like it starts replaying crazy clips from like the past, like kind of, I don't know, someone could rig it
Like
some
our
stupid way.
unfriended dark web stuff?
Yeah,
Is that what you're talking
yeah.
about?
Yeah, a little bit. Or all my board games I like to play. There's all these little pieces. Choking hazard done.
I would take your new hobby of canoeing. That's
Well, so
dangerous.
here's the thing. I am more
Paddles,
likely to
too.
die from that than anyone else. I flip every time
Self-inflicted.
Yeah.
I get in the thing.
Like Mitch is an honorary member of Busta Rhymes' crew.
So
He is flip moding all over the
Nate
place.
and I, we mentioned this previous, but we go on a canoe trip with some friends, and it's usually a 2-person tandem. This year, because of my flipping
penchant for not being upright.
Yeah, I got my own kayak and was not allowed to carry anything that was quote essential. So
not the Pringles.
So by the transitive property, we had a cooking grate this year. That's the end result.
And all the folding chairs made it.
Yep, all the chairs made it.
We did save the Pringles that last year. All right. That is good. I would not necessarily want to die of any of those. I think I will say, I think from a losing perspective, Nate for me would lose because I would never be outside helping him. So that's fine.
Well, no, but inside with the cords.
I just wouldn't be at your house. It's fine.
Have you seen our house? It's the same way.
Yeah. That is anyone that has any sort of TV or no, yeah.
I want to see.
We're lucky you guys made it in this room alive.
I want to see the yoga horror movie. Like, where is that? Just a general idea wise.
Yeah.
Yeah. That's a good one.
Surely someone's done. There's some movie with the silk.
I guess there's Yoga Hosers, the Canadian.
Isn't that how Dick Grayson's family died?
Yeah, Batman.
Well, that was a trapeze.
It's close enough.
Is it?
Aerial silks? Yeah.
All right.
Aerial silks. This is learn something new every day. Let's talk about nannies. Let's get into it.
All right. Well, let's get into our favorite hobby, which is making you talk about terrible horror films. In this case, it's actually a pretty good one. We have The Hand That Rocks the Cradle.
The Bartells couldn't believe how fortunate they were to find Peyton.
I adore children, Mrs. Bartell. I love being with them. I love taking care of them. For me, it's the next best thing to actually being a mother.
But they didn't find her.
She seems terrific. What's the catch?
There is no catch. I think she's great.
She chose them.
You never let an attractive woman take a power position in your home. All I'm saying is you have to watch your back.
Now, their innocence is her opportunity.
He has your eyes, you know.
Do you really think so?
Their trust.
Peyton's been great.
Has she?
I don't know what we would have done without her.
Is her weapon.
If something happens to my mommy, would you take care of me?
Of course I would.
And their destruction.
There's only one woman for me.
That's all you need.
Her triumph.
When your husband makes love to you, it's my face he sees.
Get out of our house.
She's turning on me, Michael, just like you said she would.
Call the police.
Claire, calm down.
You don't know what she's capable of. Claire!
Anyone can have an accident.
Michael?
What goes around comes around.
The hand that rocks the cradle is the hand that rules the world.
To my family.
The hand that rocks the cradle.
The Hand That Rocks the Cradle. So I want to start off by saying most people, I don't think, would traditionally call this a horror film. It's certainly a thriller. However, I would like to contend that it should be included in a horror film. There
horror elements.
There is at least a death, so you get in there. There is a psycho. Oh yeah, there are two.
Yeah,
there are two. Apparently, one of them doesn't matter as much as the other one.
There's three.
There's four.
Oh,
well, one's self-inflicted.
Yeah. There's self-inflicted. There's the baby. There's the friend, and there's her. There's her.
Oh, that's true.
There's four.
Does the uterus count?
Yeah, that one.
Don't even start.
That was bad.
Does it count? I'm just saying, does it count?
Yes.
For more right-wing thoughts from Nate, please subscribe.
Nate just turned tail on us for some reason.
You can find him at Nate NRA for life.
I thought your dark web was helping these.
It
ladies.
is. I was just asking, does that also count? So that's what I was asking.
I would say, would you say this movie for y'all unsuspecting victims? Would you classify this as horror? What would you?
I don't know how you define a horror specifically, but
it's however you define it. Yeah.
It was scary to me. It was frightening.
I would call it a little more suspenseful. No. Just kind of like looking at the nanny's point of view and what she was going to do next.
Yeah.
So, but it wasn't really, I wasn't scared.
You also
because you're not looking for a nanny yet.
Yeah, exactly.
That's true. That is true.
I was super tense the entire time.
Jill wants to see at least 2 pages of references going forward.
Yes.
So Nate, what can you tell us about this one?
Yeah, so this movie came out in 1992, which is pretty obvious once you see all of the technology in the movie. Yeah. We'll get through that as soon as we get in. It's 110 minutes. Generally, what'd you guys think? Too long? Just right?
Fine.
Yeah. It could have been shaved a little bit.
I thought it dragged a little bit, but...
There were a couple of rough spots, but...
Okay. All right, general. It's a 6.6 on IMDb and a 64% on Rotten. So pretty solid. The movie was made for $11.7 million and made $88 million in the box office. So it was a surprise hit. And we'll get into our sequels later for what we can make it an even better movie. The taglines for this movie, there's multiple. So the hand that rocks the cradle's tagline was, is the hand that rules the world, right? So that's the quote that the movie's based on.
Yeah.
The other one is, trust is her weapon. Innocence, her opportunity. Revenge, her only desire. A little bit wordy.
Yeah.
And then one tagline, they're like, let's just go for it. Get rocked, January 10th.
Oh my God.
That's a tagline.
How is every Dwayne Johnson movie not?
Yeah, get rocked. Exactly.
That is The Rock movie.
So that's all. I love that tagline. That was really good. The director of this movie is Curtis Hanson. Do anyone know who this is?
No.
Curtis Hanson.
No.
Right? Like I had no clue. Then I looked at what the movies he's done. He did the classic 1990 movie Bad Influence with James Spader and Rob Lowe. I don't know if you guys saw that. They did this movie. They did The River Wild with Meryl Streep. They did LA Confidential, one of the better movies probably ever made. And then he did Wonder Boys, and then he did 8 Mile.
Really?
Yes. So imagine you do Hand That Rocks the Cradle. You're like, let's go to 8 Mile later. Like that's 10 years later. I'm just going to be doing that. Pretty awesome.
Good for him.
The main actress in this is Rebecca De Mornay. She was Peyton. How old do you think she was when this movie came out?
30.
30. Okay, we got 30.
33.
33.
I'm going to say she was 37.
37. Lisa?
28.
28. Age 33. Oh, nice. She looks pretty solid. 33. That's not bad.
She looks.
Did you just call her fat?
No, I said she looked pretty solid.
At 33?
No, but they were portraying her as being younger in the movie. Is what it seemed like.
Wow.
Anyway, I'm all over the place this episode, apparently.
Yeah, you're not doing good, Nate.
This was her most famous role. She was also in Risky Business. She was in Wedding Crashers briefly. She was in the latest Jessica Jones season. She was in the classic horror film that we definitely need to do called literally Mother's Day.
Oh, yeah.
From 2010. She was in Identity, and she was in The Shining 1997 TV movie.
Oh, yeah.
As Wendy.
Yep.
So she's got a little bit of horror pedigree here.
Yep.
She was also in literally every movie in the 90s. Three Musketeers, a live action Beauty and the Beast. I'm surprised you didn't know that one.
No,
Lisa.
I did. I looked it up.
Oh, you did? Okay. And Backdraft. God, the most 90s movies of all time. Claire was played by Annabella Sciorra. She's got a bunch of Netflix credits. Glow, Luke Cage, Daredevil. She was in Copland.
The hell is she in Glow?
I don't know. She's in like 2 episodes. Copland, Underworld, the thriller comedy version from the 90s, not the Underworld with Kate Beckinsale.
That's unfortunate.
Not Mitch's Underworld?
No, Jungle Fever, What Dreams May Come, and a few other movies.
That's where I remember. Yeah. What Dreams May Come is where I remember
I'm saying,
from.
This is just I just wanted to read off every movie in the 90s that was ever made.
Yeah.
So, got it.
Pretty much.
And then, of course, the non-main actors of this, the most famous people. You got Ernie Hudson playing Solomon, the mentally handicapped person who crushes and is smarter than every person in this movie easily. Yep. And then you got Julianne Moore also crushing. Pretty solid cast.
So fun fact.
Yeah.
The little girl in the movie is Madeline Zima. She's in the show The Nanny. She's one of the kids.
How many layers of Inception are we talking about here for this? Yeah.
So, we're going to play 6 Degrees of Fran Drescher.
Or Robin Williams. Robin Williams was in What Dreams May Come.
Yeah.
Mrs. Doubtfire. So you got nannies all over the place.
Exactly.
You can chart from Fran Drescher to the Mornay easy, huh?
A lot of the trivia for this was like which actors turned down to play the roles. I don't care. So that's it.
Oh, okay.
Whatever.
That was good.
Sybil Shepherd was. They're thinking about making her the nanny, and she's like read the script. She's like, yeah, I don't like blaming women for things, so pass. And then Rebecca De Mornay is like, I don't mind. Give me money. Peace.
How much are you going to pay me? I'm good.
I'm in. Yep. So there you go.
Yeah. Okay. So as we do at every show, we ask our unsuspecting victims to give their synopsis of what this movie is about. So Amanda, if you had to describe this movie to someone, what would you say this movie is about?
It definitely tells you how not to pick a nanny. Apparently, Off the Street is bad.
Done. That was succinct.
Literally off the street. Yeah.
Don't pull nannies off the street.
Yeah.
Okay.
Jill, how about you? What would you add to that?
It's a story about revenge. Revenge is a dish best served cold. And this lady just sits for months and months figuring out what she's going to do. And she plans the perfect revenge.
Revenge is a breast pump served cold. Yeah.
Yeah. That's how
I don't know that she ever cooked a meal. She said she did. I never saw it.
Yeah, I never saw it.
Chocolate souffle, Mitch. Her famous chocolate souffle.
Yeah, sure.
I stand corrected.
All right, Lisa, what do you got? What do you got to add to this?
I don't know. That's pretty good.
Got it?
Yeah, that pretty much wraps it up.
Yeah.
So let's talk about some of these characters. So we do have Claire. I mean, it's really centers around Claire, her husband, who is a genetic engineer.
God, don't
whatever.
Even start on this guy.
Leading by. So does this movie take place in San Francisco?
No, Seattle.
Seattle. Okay. I wasn't quite sure. I never.
You could see scenic Lake Washington in the background.
You could see the Space Needle.
And you could see it was gray and dreary.
Yeah.
Clearly we weren't paying attention to where it was.
Wow. Not what I was focusing on in this movie. All right.
Mitch is the unsuspecting everything in this episode, apparently.
Yeah. Apparently.
Yeah.
Apparently.
Yeah.
So what did you think about? I guess my first question is, okay, so
Claire's got the biggest first world problem. She's like, I need to hire a nanny so I could build my own greenhouse.
Right.
God, shut up. I mean, come on, really?
Yeah.
I don't know.
She was also like sexually abused by her gynecologist, Nate. So.
Well, yeah, that wasn't good.
No,
obviously not. I'm just saying.
Okay, so let's back up. That's how it starts. So
nanny
Claire
part,
goes to her
a new gynecologist.
Yeah, a new gynecologist, which she seemed to change. Did she say why she changed?
Her other one retired in the middle of her pregnancy.
Mitch did not watch this movie.
That's the
I did not watch the opening. The opening 10 minutes.
Because let me just give you 10 seconds on why this episode occurred. The boy and I were not here. And Mitch, as he does, watches horror movies when I'm not here, happened to catch part of this one, tell me this thing is freaking insane. And then we decided to do the episode.
Yeah.
Yeah. I mean, I remember watching it when I was younger. I did not remember it as well.
When it first came out?
I guess whenever it probably came out.
I think
TV
I saw it when I was like
my mom probably
like
rented it or something.
Yikes.
Yeah.
Yeah, this was scary to me.
Again, I'm the third child. No one cared about like censoring me for. They wanted to watch whatever they wanted to watch. They weren't waiting.
Like, this is the only nanny Mitch is getting. So
Freddy Krueger was my nanny growing up.
Here's your manny.
Yeah, is my manny.
Yeah.
Yeah. So she gets. Yeah. I mean, she said her gynecologist. She gets assaulted. And now, at first, I wrote when they're doing the breast exam. I'm like, without the music, I don't know that this is as creepy.
No, the
or
music
insidious.
is definitely
the music's definitely there to hide like, oh, this is weird.
So that was, I guess, okay-ish.
Yeah.
When then he went for the pelvic part of the exam.
I prefaced that by saying I've never had my man boobs fondled like that, so don't know what's appropriate. Right now, nothing's appropriate.
It was pretty normal seeming from my experience.
There's going to be a lot of questions where I'm going to try to ask, is this a normal thing that would have happened?
That didn't trigger as many flags as no glove, no love.
Now the magician palming technique. That this dude is clearly working on his like.
I yelled out loud. Like, that's not sterile. For a doctor's office.
That's what you're worried about?
Yeah. That was the first thing I was worried about. Then the assault was also a factor. But he does, he acts like he's putting the gloves on, then does like the worst magician palming. You don't have to take the glove out. She's blocked from seeing you. It's not like it was for the camera. I didn't like that.
look, whenever you have an opportunity to practice your skill, your craft of
Sure.
sleight of hand, close up magic, you got to take the opportunity.
I think they did it though because people wouldn't have. If he had never put one on to begin with, I don't think a lot of people would have caught it.
Exactly.
No, of course.
Yeah.
But he's a great magician because his life vanished.
Yeah, it's his practice and all that.
He hid all his money, apparently.
Yeah, so she does. I guess she goes through, finishes up the exam, and then she leaves and steps forward, and several other people come forward.
Yeah. So what did you guys? So as the females that this could potentially happen to at some point, what is the general thoughts here? Obviously, all positive.
This could all happen to you.
Yeah, man.
You are on point today.
I don't know what's happening to me. I apologize. No, like what were the emotions that you guys had during this scene?
It's horrible.
Yeah,
it's just awful.
I yelled out loud. I mean, I thought that was gross.
Yeah.
So I can't. Yeah.
I hate going to the gynecologist in the first place. It's not a very comfortable experience. And then watching that, I'm like, yeah, I don't need to go back.
Especially when you're pregnant. It's just, not good.
And that's why you stick with the female gynecologist.
Yeah.
I was about to say, this movie
It's a good lesson to learn. Yeah.
This movie did more damage to male gynecologists than probably anything else.
Oh, yeah, I'm sure.
Nannies and male gynecologists really under the bus on this movie.
Now, here's the interesting thing. I thought there was some, and maybe this is not the truth. Maybe that I'm making this up. But I thought at some point, male doctors were not allowed to be alone with female patients. They had to at least have a female nurse in the room with them.
The nurse was in the room, and I was like, oh, that's good that she's in there because he's creepy. But then she left, and I was like, uh-oh.
Yeah, then the music really started.
I think that's a little more recent than maybe what the movie was then.
Yeah, but I think that is a thing now, right?
You always have to have the doctor and the nurse.
And the nurse, right. Okay.
Yeah, for females and males, I think.
Oh, really?
Yeah, I think it's both.
Okay.
Just for the doctor's reputation also.
Okay.
That's not how it worked at my doctor's office.
But I think if it's the opposite sex is what she's saying.
No, you're saying both.
No, you said both?
Because at my doctor, there's always two.
Oh, okay.
Right?
Yeah.
It's always been two.
So I thought that was a thing, but as soon as the nurse walks out, you're like, this is not good.
Well, note to you, listener. Have that second person in there.
Yeah. Take your spouse with you. And I mean,
have a crew.
Maybe they can't always go, but you always went with me and Nate,
but for pregnancy ones, but for your normal checkups.
Oh, no. Yeah. Yeah, it's.
Excuse me, my husband will be joining us. Wait, what?
He likes to watch.
We actually videotape every single session. So
all right, we
All right. So let's fast forward. So after this comes out, he does kill himself. I mean, fast forward to about 6 months later.
This was a great Me Too kind of scenario here, very early in the time of this. That was cool. You guys come up and pretty quickly.
Yeah.
It was pretty quick. So 6 months later, she does have her son. She has 2 kids. A little girl and the boy, and then her husband, the genetic engineer. But they also have Solomon, who is with the Bright Days.
Yeah, Ernie Hudson. Yeah, it's a job placement for people who have some sort of
he's
mental
there to
handicaps.
fix their fence and ends up kind of becoming a little bit of a part of the family.
He is the smartest person in the movie.
Yeah.
I mean, it's close.
So
the 6-year-old girl, that guy.
Well, any general comments about the family, or any of the characters in the family?
Oh, they're so generic. I don't know. It's hard to.
The funny thing is, we realized that baby was being played by triplets. We looked it up, and every time a new baby came on, we're like, "That's not the same baby."
This is a Full House situation.
Because it was a boy and 2 girls triplets, and so you could tell the difference in them. And then there's
the baby would get excessively chunkier at certain points.
I did notice that, like the baby got chunky.
Yeah, right. Like, that's not the same baby.
Like how long were they filming? Like, is that
I will say Lisa's favorite scenes in the movie involved the baby.
Oh yes.
Her least favorite scenes were the rest of the movie.
Yeah. But it was so funny because there's one scene where like everything's in chaos and the baby is crying, but if you can see the baby's face and the baby's just chill, like
the baby's mouth is never really seen. Whenever there's crying, it's always played in the background.
Niche for you guys to exploit here because if you could get a baby that could take direction, I mean, every movie, you're basically golden.
Little Damien can't keep his little foot out of his mouth, so
that's a problem.
That's very true.
It's not gonna be able to take over the world with with his foot in his mouth all the time.
Yeah.
But he does take after his father in that regard. So there you go.
Now, the family was pretty plain Jane. I mean,
I did like Solomon. Sometimes I thought it was a little thick on the acting, but it wasn't bad. But
I thought Claire was just so naive.
Yeah.
Frustratingly naive and trusting.
Yeah, so let's talk about the nanny search. So she interviews a few people. It's not really working out, and then she meets Peyton off the street. Literally stops in front of a school bus. To
have her hand a hoodie because you're in Seattle. So basically, the hoodie should just be a permanent fixture, like at all times of year. But whatever,
should just be sewn into the school uniform.
Exactly. Yeah.
And I mean, this interview process not very good, right?
But there are references
that no one ever calls.
There were references. I don't remember hearing about the
She
references.
said I left when she's leaving. She's like, I left my references for you downstairs.
Yeah.
But I mean, I didn't catch that.
This is where this entire movie would be like a 4-minute short on YouTube. It's like, do you have references? Yeah. What is the number? And then you call on your cell phone and you go, oh, that's garbage. I hate you. And then that movie's over. Like that.
Filmed by Nate.
Exactly. Right.
Or Nate, she could just fill the list of references with people who are going to lie.
That's true.
You have to think about that when you get a nanny.
She farms that out to like a Bangladeshi.
Like fake Yelp reviews.
She could put her own number and just do a bunch of impressions.
Yeah. You never know.
Just saying.
I mean, okay, look, this wouldn't
She's
work
great.
anyway because she would have to have a substantial number of Yelp reviews today. I think that's why this movie,
what if she's only nanny with one family?
Doesn't age well.
She's starting.
Huh?
Well, she's just starting out.
Well,
she
Then
did.
she's never gonna
she
get
did
hired.
She did say she was only with one other family.
Exactly.
yeah, but you would go with a service that has Yelp reviews. You wouldn't just pick up some random person that didn't have a Yelp review. Are you crazy, Nate? Is that how you decide on your food choices? You just randomly go places?
Yeah, I actually do that.
Oh my!
I do that pretty
Jesus.
frequently. Like, wait,
Jesus.
That's a sign. What? Let's go.
You think they have food?
One day you'll get murdered in some East European.
Yeah, and I'll go out. We were in Eastern Europe last year, and we were just walking around, randomly going into places. So it worked out.
Well, good. So now we know how you're going to do your nanny. So Amanda, you're nanny shopping then, not Nate, is what I'm kind of hearing.
Neither of us are nanny shopping.
That's probably
your nanny can't murder you if there's no nanny. Think about it that way.
Now, did y'all? One thing that struck me as weird in this movie is that the nanny lived with them.
It's like a Brady Bunch. It's a Brady Bunch scenario.
Is your nanny gonna live with you?
No.
Okay.
So that is a thing people do, but if you only need your nanny for when you're working in your greenhouse, I feel like she doesn't need to live with you.
That was the thing.
Yeah.
Don't get me started on like the greenhouse. Like, how much effort is this? Really? Come on. Like more than like a 40-hour-a-week job or something?
Definitely
I mean,
not.
come on.
I would think after like a month or two, you should be done with the nanny.
Let's just say
you
this.
should have a greenhouse.
Let's just say this. The dad is worthless with this kid. Right?
With the baby?
In the movie, he doesn't
Every
do
time
anything.
he approaches the kid, they're like, shut up, the baby's sleeping.
Yeah.
Does he ever hold the baby?
Oh,
I think
don't know.
there's a couple times when he's.
Are you sure?
When they give the bike to Solomon, and when they early on, I think when he's coming in from work, one scene.
Mitch is a dad sympathizer over here. Yes, he held the baby.
I mean, he holds the little
That
girl
dad
a
is
lot.
trying. Okay, he's trying to.
He's doing his best.
Yeah.
Maybe he needs to edit his own genes to have more love for his children.
Look,
maybe that's it.
I don't know what
He
it
likes
says.
the little
that,
girl.
Yeah, he like sings and dances.
He likes
with
one
the
of his
little
kids.
girl.
Okay,
Yeah.
that's true.
Yeah, he really likes the HMS Pinafore because they do the stupid or play like 4 times in the movie.
Yeah, like this kid hasn't sung a stupid song with me yet. Not sure how this is going to go with us.
So Peyton's hired. I'm just going to kind of skip ahead a little bit. She's obviously batshit crazy, and she's doing very bizarre things. What were some of the things that Peyton did that you were? When was it that you
what
said,
stood out?
what the fuck is going on here? What is this?
When
You
she
tell me-
breastfed
Yeah.
the girl's baby.
Yeah.
Set an alarm for 3 a.m. to go wake the baby up and breastfeed.
And first you think she's going to smother it with a pillow.
Yeah.
And I'm like, oh my God, oh my God, oh my
I was
God.
like, this is a 30-minute short that Lisa will love. If that would have been the case.
Lisa would have just punched you, Nate.
Yeah.
If that had happened.
We'll get that later.
Yeah, no, the breastfeeding, very bizarre. Now, one thing.
So stealth breastfeeding.
Yeah.
Does
that's intense.
Here's my question. We're going to do some fact from fiction. Is it really like a turnoff on one milk versus the other? I don't know if that's, I mean,
no, I think the baby was like already full and didn't want any more milk. So that's why he was crying when he would try and feed with his mom.
Yeah.
That makes a lot more sense.
But health wise, seems like everything's still okay though with the baby.
The baby's fine.
It's not hurting.
Because I'm like,
anything
they
per
had
se.
wet nurses long ago.
Exactly.
She
This
did
is-
it to get the baby fussy with. She did it for the attachment with the baby.
Of course,
She was much more attached to her.
But what I'm saying is, out of all the things that she did, this is like one of the least harmful to people.
I just want to say this baby sleeps extremely well. This baby is at least a 5-6 month old kid. Sleeps very well.
It definitely didn't look like a 3-month-old.
No. And yeah, even for a 3-month-old, slept super well. That she has to go wake the baby up at 3 a.m. Seems unrealistic.
And thanks for this episode of Texas Parenting Massacre.
Call bull on that.
All right, what about you, babe? What was one of the sabotaging things that stood out for you?
The Secret Club
with the daughter.
Yeah. Oh yeah,
that's manipulating early.
Like Jerry Sandusky-ish levels.
Mm-hmm.
Not great.
Yeah. What is your thought? Do you think that she fully planned out everything all the way through? I think she I think this woman, let's be clear, terrible shit that happened to her, when we'll get into that in a bit.
Yeah.
But she is like a master at just reacting, planning, executing.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Like when she grabs the lighter out of Marlene's purse.
Oh, when she grabs to insinuate that Marlene and her husband are having an affair because they used to be friends.
She gets
and
Solomon
dating.
fired. I mean, she just.
Oh, the Solomon fire. When he catches her breastfeeding the baby.
Oh my God.
And she very quickly, like, okay, we have an issue.
Done.
Managed. Done.
Yeah.
You're really papering over what happened with that. Like, oh, yeah, there's some batteries in this guy's bag. And you go, oh, okay, yeah, let me go check. The little girl's underwear are in the thing.
Have found their way into.
That was brutal.
I was really pissed off by that point. And then just like the little things, like taking the husband's proposal that they had hand typed up the whole night before and like throwing it away.
Again,
she got so mad too.
I was thinking, hey, just email
like, destroy it. Wouldn't they find like
1992?
No, I know. It's like
remains of
now.
that?
Yeah.
I mean, I'm sure some janitor would like clean it up but not think anything about it. But she also like damaged the bathroom stall. It seemed a little
destroyed
excessive.
the plunger and the door.
Yeah, I guess like as a B- Nick Cage. Like,
yeah, it was. There was some cage rage for sure.
There was. Yeah.
I'll say the proposal part that got ripped up. I mean, I kind of put down the husband. Just do your own damn work. Just
get your shit together.
If it's that important to your job, why
Yeah.
don't you just manage that? Why is it waiting until the last minute? That's what my mom would tell me. That should have already been in the mail days ago.
Yeah, that's true.
One thing that doesn't hold up very well in this movie, the sheer amount of baby bumpers and
there was the sleep in there was not safe.
You can't watch these things as a parent.
I bring that
anymore.
up only because when I watched this movie the first, it didn't scare me. Like things didn't like it didn't
It's like,
really
whatever.
scare me. It was like, oh, it's a good movie. Watching it now, having a child's like you just like.
Mitch, you pause it.
How did this kid
You
survive?
pause it. Not up to code.
Not up
to code. Nope.
Baby's dead.
I am
Nope.
calling CPS now. So let's talk about Marlene. Marlene is Claire's friend and
Julianne Moore.
Yeah, Julianne Moore. Can I ask you, are any one of us as good a friend as Marlene? She knows her friend's perfume well enough to know that the nanny is wearing it.
Yeah, that was weird. Sorry, I don't know what perfume you guys wear.
You don't?
That's what I was going to ask.
It was foreshadowing because that girl was poison.
That girl was poison.
I thought that was a great reference. That was right when that song came out. This is perfect.
Oh no,
we need more Belle Biv DeVoe references in our podcast.
Right.
So you're welcome.
So yeah, I like Marlene's character in this.
She's
movie.
fantastic.
She is a real estate agent. She does start putting together some things about the nanny and realizes the nanny's not who she says she is.
You know, a character's badass when they're like, "Where are they?" Oh, they're talking on the car phone.
Yeah.
Right.
Boom. That's a straight mic drop right there. Car phone.
Now her only
Badass.
real problem is she does put together that the nanny is actually Mrs. Mott, the Paige Ms. Mudd, the widow of the gynecologist.
So let's go into her backstory real quick. So basically, she's like, well, my husband sucks, but I'm good, right? And they're like, yeah, your estate's going to get sued by everyone into oblivion, so you're not good.
Yeah.
And she's like, oh, well, that's going to make me have a hemorrhage while pregnant. I'm really going succinct on this. And then she ends up losing her kid and
gets a hysterectomy.
And having her uterus removed. And then she's not happy about it. Now, why not this? Why not blame your husband?
Easier to blame the victim, Nate. Come on now.
I glossed over this really hard.
Said he was a very good way to gloss over
I glossed
it.
I was getting the points right away.
Yeah.
He's afraid now.
But like if the husband's dead, you can just blame him and he's already dead. Problem solved.
Yeah, but she doesn't want to blame her husband. She loves him and she's in denial.
Well, and she lost the baby.
And she had a hysterectomy. That's it.
So you think that if she would have had the baby, she would have blamed her husband and everything would have been fine?
I think if she had the baby, she would have been fine.
She would have been fine.
Okay. Yeah. I think it was all about that baby, and I don't really think she. I mean,
think it
she
made her go
cared
crazy
about the husband, but I don't think. Yeah, she had the baby.
It seemed like a very secondary. Okay, so that was main driving factor, or her ability to not have any kids.
Well,
maybe in
I think
the
it was.
future even.
I think the baby was probably
the
the baby is the breaking point. I think a lot of those she lost everything because she was trying to steal her husband too. She was trying to steal the whole family. It wasn't just like I'm just taking this baby.
True.
She wanted her life.
She wanted. She was like, you took my life from me. I'm taking yours now.
So that's what I'm saying. Like it was in a whole pack. Okay, so maybe.
But I think if she had just lost her husband, like probably would have been. Probably does not go to this extreme of pumping herself for 6 months to keep up her supply.
Yeah,
that's extreme and dedication to a. Yeah.
I hope she donated all the stuff she pumped because that's just sad.
Yeah,
but the babies might catch the crazy, so maybe not.
Might catch the crazy. That's
Wait,
true.
hold on. The craziness is transmitted through the breast milk. This is the first I'm hearing of this.
You never know.
You never know.
So now that you have the backstory. So now that you had the backstory.
What's the best way to do this? You never know. You just go with it.
So now you had the backstory. So Marlene goes to try to tell her friend Claire what's going on. Makes what I would say the fatal mistake of going ahead and letting Peyton know that she knows.
Yeah, that's a mistake.
And then she walks into a rigged trap in the greenhouse.
That was awesome.
And dies from glass shattering on top of her.
I can imagine you, Mitch, going when like the things are cranking and they fall. It's like that's not the code either. Like you're gonna have children
violations
nearby.
Everywhere.
There's violations everywhere.
I mean, yeah, there's.
Well, let's hold on. Let's say before that, my favorite scene in the entire movie was the surprise birthday party scene.
Oh God!
By far the best scene in the movie for me. Basically, he's saying he's going in the office, but he's really going to a bar to smoke with his friend Julianne Moore, and they used to date. And then they're basically planning a surprise party for the mom because they're probably like, oh, she would need a cool party. Everything's going crazy, and this will be fun. So then, basically, plant like the lighter, doing all this stuff. He smells like smoke. He's being, first of all, terrible communicator. He needs to like give himself like edit some genes or something to make sure he can like talk like a human. Like he can't. He's like, I don't want to talk about it. That's it. Like it's done. Like you smell like smoke. I don't want to talk about it.
He was just trying to keep a secret. Yeah. Cut this guy some slack. He's not that bad.
Is the worst.
No,
let's be real.
Not.
Most husbands in horror movies like this are always the worst. Yeah. This is the one guy that's he's just kind of clueless.
But he's a genetic engineer. I think the whole point is like, oh, this guy's like got it together.
He's book smart, street dumb.
Exactly.
Yeah, he's
people like that are kind of oblivious sometimes.
Okay, well, this guy is Mr. Oblivious. But anyway, he tries to do the surprise party. She has a bad time. He walks in. Everything's going well, right? Surprise party's there. You can see in the camera the people are down the hallway in the main room.
Yeah.
And then she's like, "You're fucking Marlene, aren't you?" And then everyone in the room's just like, "Oh."
God, that was
the guy's
awful.
still holding the cake, like
happy
surprise. Oh man, that was
cringy.
That was the best directing kind of part of the entire movie. I thought that was a well framed whole scene.
Let me ask you: do you, if this is you, if you are Claire, do you walk into that room or do you just leave the house?
I would just leave the house.
Yeah, right.
Yeah, she like gingerly walked into the room then where the party was.
I would have just been like, I'm out. I'm just going to drive somewhere.
Let me grab this bottle of wine. I'll see you
Enjoy
later.
the cake. I'm gone.
Yeah, well, apparently she can drink as much as she wants because she's not breastfeeding. She doesn't know it, but she's not actually breastfeeding the kid. So. Yikes.
Yeah. So one thing we have not mentioned about Claire is that she has asthma. She does have a massive asthma attack.
But she has asthma in this movie?
She does have asthma. I know. She does have a massive asthma attack, and all of her inhalers are out, so she ends up being hospitalized.
Well, one of her inhalers is sabotaged.
Yeah, you glossed over something.
Everything's sabotaged. This is like a really elaborate, like, it's like Chucky when he sabotages everything to kill people. It's basically that, but like on a lower scale. This whole movie.
Yeah, so she is hospitalized, and that allows.
Well, and okay, this is where I'm going to say the guy is now dumb instead of just being oblivious, because his wife's in the hospital. Julianne Moore dies. She has a huge panic attack thing. Her inhalers are bad, so she has to go to the hospital for a little while. While she's in the hospital, he lets the nanny change a bunch of things in the house.
Oh yeah, that's not
another great surprise from this guy. That I think is where he really lost me. It's
if
like
the first surprise goes so badly, why would you go with the second
throw more
surprise?
surprises.
I know.
Stop with the surprises, guy.
Yeah.
It's not working. So that I wasn't
think
a
his
fan
only
of.
saving grace though is when push comes to shove and she's like,
"Oh, you mean when he got
we're
shut down?"
together?" And he's like, "No, I love my wife. Screw you." So
And she's like, "Wait, screw me?" And then
Yeah.
he was,
basically what
he was
happened,
not as
too.
authoritative as you're making it sound. Like there's one woman for me.
And it might be you.
And it might be you.
Might be you.
He was so God, this guy is the worst. He's like, she's basically
There's
hitting on him.
much worse than
you know,
this
like
guy.
how Mitch, like if Mitch was here and then the nanny hit on him and then he goes, just keep nannying. That's not great either.
I know. I feel like he
nannying.
should have brought that up to his wife for sure.
Yeah.
Well, the nanny hit on me. We should probably fire her.
Well, and then babe, when she was at the kitchen, like setting up an elaborate ruse to get him downstairs in the middle of the night, and she's like, "Oh, you want me to fix you something?" And then what did you say?
A little bit of sausage.
Oh, yeah,
Yeah.
The seduction was happening for pretty much the whole movie, off and on.
Yeah.
And this guy, again, oblivious. I don't know.
Yeah.
It's just like,
So,
what?
There are
I
some
don't
times where
know.
I'm just like, yeah, I'd maybe like raise the point or just be like,
So get into the ending. Claire finally realizes that maybe Marlene knew something because she's desperately trying to call her.
And
She
what-
goes to the office, does some
Yeah.
investigation, goes to the house, finally realizes who this psycho is,
Yeah.
and again makes the mistake of just going home instead of getting the cops.
Now, hold on a second. That's fair. But she punches Peyton in the face.
Oh, that was fantastic.
One of the best punches in cinematic
across the room.
in
No.
cinematic history. That's not
Yeah.
hyperbole. This is one of the I watched it 4 times straight. I'm like, look how flush that is.
Yeah.
Because you were saying maybe you were thinking like a slap.
I was thinking a hard slap.
Like a hard slap was good. No, just
Yeah.
In the
straight
face.
in the
But
face.
for such a tiny lady, like,
Yeah.
she went far.
over the table, just like whatever.
Well
Claire
done.
mastered her Tybo tapes. So
And can we get into this? I mean, I don't know why no one's brought this up, but this lady looks like a young Hillary Clinton.
No, she looks like Renee Zellweger.
No.
Who, Peyton?
Yeah.
She looks like
A
none of
young
these
Hillary.
people.
You know, Hillary
A
Clinton used to
young
look
Hillary
like, yeah, like in like the 70s and 80s. Like
I mean, I
exactly
couldn't
the
with her
same.
Hair straight.
I do
Yeah.
agree. I think she looks like a young Hillary Clinton, but
Yeah.
that also looks like Renee Zellweger.
That seems like a compliment. Is
Who
that
do
a compliment?
who do you
Who's
think
that a
Peyton looks
compliment
like?
for? Yeah.
You can add us at.
Well, and then I'll say like, oh, her husband's like messing around with people and getting caught. It's like, okay, we're getting there. All right.
Yeah, but Bill wouldn't go out like a punk. That's the difference.
Yikes.
Yeah, so I mean, she finds out. She punches her. The husband says,
All right, so
get the hell out the house.
Everyone's reaction on the punch. What do you guys think?
Punch is great. I think it's the next part when they say get out. They get the keys, and then she's like, "We need to call the cops right now." And he's like, "We got the keys.
Dude,
it's fine."
This guy is the worst. He didn't want to call the cops.
Wouldn't you go through and like lock all the doors after you kick someone out?
Wouldn't you immediately leave your house and not spend an hour packing? I think we're all saying what we would have done differently. But
What about you, Joe? How was this punch satisfying in any way? What were you thinking on
Yeah,
that?
I was just thinking, finally, she deserved it.
now what? But punch versus shovel to the face. Well, I don't know.
The punch was cooler and better in my personal
Yeah.
opinion. Shovel to the. I mean, this genetic engineer guy literally walked into a shovel in the face.
Goes downstairs with no weapon.
Exactly. Hears sounds after. He's like, it can't be her. We told her to leave.
Yeah,
it can't be her. It can't.
I like that he had a baseball bat at one point when he's investigating noises.
But not this time.
Earlier, but not this time. Not this time when there's
Yeah.
a legitimate danger in the house.
I've never rooted for a character to break both their legs more in a movie than I had to this movie.
And guess what, Nate? You're rewarded. He breaks
I was rewarded.
both them legs.
And even then, he has no emotion. He's like, my legs are broken. There's nothing.
This is
calm
the
can you be?
How calm can you be in this scenario?
Well, he's probably paralyzed. He doesn't feel that his legs are
This
broken
guy is
anymore. 'Cause
so
I don't
relaxed.
understand how you do that without any pain in
This
your
guy is
voice.
relaxed.
Yeah.
And when all the circumstances say you need to have some sort of like reaction to this, he's like,
He's like, I can't help you. My legs are broken.
That's all he says.
Good luck.
He probably just didn't want to do it.
luck.
He's like, you know what? If what happens, happens. I'm just going to stay down here until
Yeah.
this all blows over. Yeah, my legs are working.
I mean, he's not helping anyone. So if anything, it's like an addition by subtraction scenario for like the end fight scene.
While I
But
definitely
yeah.
defend this guy, this feels like the move from someone who probably goes, "Oh, can you handle the baby tonight? I just don't feel great."
Yeah.
Is that your move, Mitch?
No.
So this is like
I have a different move.
This
It's
is like
not
a
that.
lot of people say like, "What are you doing?" I'm washing my
snoring.
hair.
Yeah.
He like broke his own legs on purpose, so he didn't have to help.
Yeah, the fall didn't break him. He just did it on his own.
Wow. He had like a mild sprain, but he's like, "Oh, both my legs are broken." I can't
Okay,
help you."
he's a genetic engineer. He'll fix it.
Yeah, he can fix himself. Yeah.
I will say the ending is where this movie kind of turned a little bit more absurd than maybe some of the other parts are, because this little girl who at this point has just been easily manipulated and coerced is now all of a sudden like rigging traps a la Kevin McAllister all over this house.
It's not traps.
Well, it has like the walkie-talkie, like she's all of a sudden mastering like the walkie-talkie.
I think Solomon
moves.
planted that.
I don't know that he
I
did.
thought she did.
I thought she did.
No, she did. 'Cause he
Okay.
was still
I thought
outside.
she did too.
Okay.
But the thing is that, again, the little girl and the supposedly mentally handicapped person, two smartest people in the movie.
Like, yeah. So they end up in the attic. I mean, that worked once, and then Peyton found them in the attic. So, you know, it was there. Claire goes and tries to defend them. There's a big fight scene. Claire,
Okay, Nate. Punch versus throwing her out the window.
Oh.
I still like the punch.
You still
better.
like the punch
That
better.
punch was visceral
epic.
and good.
Yeah.
Actually, a lot of like the falling and like the physicality of this movie is like shockingly decent.
Yeah.
So Peyton gets thrown out of the window right in front of the little girl. So how much therapy is this little girl going to need after all this
Well,
crap?
and I love that she's basically does the line from The Room. You're not my fucking mother. She basically does that. Loved it.
Yeah. She gets thrown out. Peyton gets thrown out this window, lands on a very sturdy, very dangerous
babe,
fence.
what did you say as soon as she landed on the fence?
Oh, that Solomon was gonna have to fix it.
Yeah, it's not
You're
part
hired.
of it's not part of the greenhouse. She ain't fucking. Did Solomon build the greenhouse too?
No.
I don't think so. I think
No, they had people. In
I would
there.
have found it more funny if Solomon had.
And again, it's like, hey, like the Solomon guy is like, he's like, oh, well, he's not the mental capabilities to like handle the baby. The one who saves it, the dad never holds the baby. Totally worthless. Again, total juxtaposition.
I think Solomon holds the baby more than the dad.
Oh, in the movie? Yeah,
Yeah.
definitely. At the
No,
end.
I mean,
By the end? Yeah.
It's just there's not as much to do about it. I think it happens. It's just very subtle and they make a big deal about Solomon, but rightly so, of holding the baby.
Mitch, you hold the baby a lot. Don't worry.
I know you're so
I want to make
I know.
for dads out there everywhere. No, yeah. So the ending again, everyone like the little girl just acts like everything's great. Like, oh hey Solomon, let's go downstairs and all hang out. Yay! It's
So she's like, anyone but my parents, awesome.
She's suppressing the trauma. It'll come.
I guess, yeah. Just have a mental break in 20 years.
But does Solomon bring the baby and her up into the attic, or how does the little girl get the baby into the attic?
He was like climbing
I
the
thought-
outside of the house.
Yeah, but like she could barely carry the thing.
Yeah.
That's true.
Yeah,
I don't know if maybe he went down and found them and took them up.
that's what I would assume, because they would have had to. Because I mean, she was gonna probably hide in that closet, and you may be right, Lisa. Solomon may have helped with the walkie-talkie piece.
And
but-
again, I gotta point this out, but the attic is where the bad things happen, and then the basement is where the worst guy
the
got hurt.
attic is where they defeat the evil, Nate.
Yeah, but that's where all the shit goes down.
Oh.
The basement was like, hey, the guy who deserves his legs broken got his legs broken. basically a net
The basement is
positive.
where the evil live and had to go up to the attic to get expelled. This house had both.
So there's two, besides Solomon, there's two dominant men in this movie. The sexual abuse gynecologist and the dad. And you're still saying the dad is the worst.
Well, the dad's ambivalence and terribleness is going to hurt people for longer. So I'm trying to, how do I weight like the terribleness versus the duration?
I'm pretty sure the entire catalyst of the entire movie is that freaking gynecologist.
No, the gynecologist is terrible, obviously.
Now, so this ends on a happy note. Roll credits. Anything else you want to talk about with this movie?
Yes.
Yes.
Do you think you would be able to see a wind chime in an ad for a house? Use your magnifying glass. That wind chime might be the same one I saw at my friend's house. I better go check it out.
Yeah, I mean that's like yeah, that's
sure. And it's the most generic wind chime too.
Magnifying glass is pretty great. Again, that's like right now, pinch
on
zoom.
1992 printer paper.
Yeah.
I mean, if it were like a unique sort of wind chime, sure. Not just a generic one you grabbed at Walmart.
But it's the most generic wind chime imaginable.
But I think the thing that tipped her off is there were multiple wind chimes on that lady's house, not just one.
She's very perceptive.
She had like an obsession with wind chimes.
Unlike every adult character in this movie, she was very perceptive, apparently. Not perceptive enough to just not say, where is this person? I don't know where they are. You're also a terrible person, and I know your secret. That was
I did love the microfiche too. Having to zoom into a
microfiche.
really grainy photo.
Love it.
Did you guys ever have to use microfiche?
Yes.
Oh, back in
we had to learn how to use it, but
Jill.
I never actually needed it.
That's good.
I just used the Dewey Decimal System. That was fine.
We're really dating ourselves now.
They still have the Dewey
this
Decimal
movie
System.
ages
Yes, they do.
very poorly. So with that said, I think I want to ask you all, what would you do differently?
Son of a bitch, you left the bodies and you only moved the headstones! You only moved the headstones! Why? Why?
Lisa, you're anyone in this movie. What are you doing differently?
The second that I'm the mom and I realize who it is, and they're like, let's go stay at a hotel, I'm leaving. Just go. I don't need any of my crap. I'll go to the store to buy clothes. We're out. Don't linger.
Yeah. I mean, they look at their house, and I don't think they're like, oh, we don't have any cash to go anywhere. I think they're fine.
You're gonna be fine.
You're building greenhouses.
Yeah.
You should be okay.
Yeah. You don't know if she's made copies of keys, if she's what the heck is going on. Just get out.
Oh, I didn't even think about that.
Yeah.
True. Yeah.
Jill, God, look, Jill is just dying inside.
So Jill, what would you have done differently?
Check the fucking references.
Yeah.
That's the moral of this movie.
So you're never going to be at a place where you're so frustrated. You got to get this greenhouse off the ground. There's so much urgency to get this greenhouse.
See, but for
going.
all we know, if she was a botanist, she could have started making money, and maybe was also some income. We don't know the motivation.
Yeah, how
behind
much
the
does a
greenhouse.
genetic engineer make?
Well, according to you, he's a really horrible one, so probably not that much.
But he was
He's
at
still
a,
better than the
he was
other
at a top
tools he worked with.
facility,
He's failing
though.
upward at
Let's
the
be real.
EPA.
He
apparently.
worked with a lot of tools in his.
He wore a white lab coat.
Oh.
That counts for something.
Okay.
So double, triple, quadruple check. Make sure this person is who they say they are.
They better have like 100 plus Yelp reviews or else
Yeah.
no deal.
Yeah. But in this time frame, you would say something like, "Hey, operator, hook me into Kansas City or wherever they moved to." Like, try that. You can at least try that, right? I mean,
Yeah,
she didn't even
definitely.
try.
Or as we touched on before, just don't be spoiled and require a nanny for your 2-hour stints working on your greenhouse.
Yeah.
Again, not
especially
up
if
to
she
code,
had a crew to
greenhouses.
help her.
Well, an in-home nanny for your 2-hour stints.
Yeah,
It's
that
excessive.
is okay. So this is against the excesses of society, is what you're saying.
The husband's clearly overpaid. Amanda, what do you do differently?
I would go through an agency where you actually have legitimate people looking at their
Just like
background.
agency only, no matter how
It worked out with Solomon. I don't know why you didn't go an agency this time around. Oh.
Yeah, especially when someone randomly shows up on the street and was like, "Hey, I heard of you." It's like, "Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Oh, you must be good."
Well, and actually, Amanda's cousin does job placement for people like that also.
For men,
Like
yeah,
in
with
that
men.
area, in that same area.
Yeah,
Yes,
for
yes.
mental disabilities. Yeah.
Nice.
Agencies.
Nate, what do you
Yeah, she's with an agency.
What do you do? What do you do differently?
So you have accused a doctor of sexually assaulting you, which happened. Multiple other people do it. It's a big thing on the news. They show it multiple times.
Yeah.
Maybe you follow the news a little bit on the TV about it, and you know what the wife looks like. Done.
Yeah. That was, I mean, to
Seemed
me,
pretty
that was
obvious
crazy
to
that
me.
they just plastered it on the news. Who was the first accuser?
And just like the writers of the movie, Nate victim blames.
No. And then another thing I would have done is if I was the director, I wouldn't have shown who the wife was.
You would have had that be a reveal.
I would have had that be a reveal.
Oh, no, you know what?
That would have been way better.
Normally I'm the one that kind of says, "Oh, they should have had this reveal at the end. They should have exposed it." No, I liked in this one that they actually showed it because you got to really see how like evil she is. You got to see all the wheels turning in terms of all the
one of the other characters
like
did.
the shit like with the earring, getting the baby to cry and act like, "Oh, he almost swallowed this,"
or like when Solomon accidentally gets paint on her and her face changes to just pure hatred.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh yeah. Knowing up front, actually, I thought I made the movie better.
Yeah, I think you would miss a lot if you didn't already know that she was the wife.
No.
But I think that it could be like a repeat. Like there are some, I guess, so maybe I like movies like where I go watch it the second time and I go, oh shit.
Yeah, I don't have time for that.
You don't have time? Okay, got it.
I'm pretty sure her breastfeeding the kid isn't a subtle thing you're gonna miss.
I think
that's true.
I think in some instances, but if you think about what like in some movies that make, I agree with you.
Yeah.
In this movie though, you'd be sitting and watching a movie going, so why is this kid not latching?
No.
Why is it?
You would show her you'd play the music, like the gynecologist music, so you know she's evil from the get-go, but you don't know why.
You don't know motive.
You just think that because all this shit happened to her, she needs a nanny because all this crap was happening emotionally and whatever.
but this way they didn't.
And then the tie back happens.
But this way they didn't have like the I forget the word, but they didn't have to have her like do the Bond villain at the end where she's explain her motives. You just knew it.
Well, no, it'd be a flashback.
Yeah.
So would you know she lost a baby, or you just wouldn't know?
You'd have to do
that?
like
You're saying was it a
exposition
fetus? I don't know how
say
far
it.
along. I don't know how far along.
Jesus.
geez.
All right. I'm glad Amanda has the same exact response.
Mitch, what about you?
Oh Jesus. I'm gonna go a different route than y'all. I'm just gonna say if I'm Peyton, controversial stance. The plan's gone to shit. Everyone knows who I am. Claire's over here having an asthma attack. I'm just gonna go ahead and finish the job for it. I'm not gonna wait for the asthma to hopefully take care of the issue. Just
and be more thorough.
Just be thorough.
But what would you do to not get caught?
Well, the cat's out of the bag already.
At that point, who gives a shit there?
Oh, you're saying in the attic.
Yeah, everyone in that situation is pretty much getting murdered except for the kids.
But was that an asthma attack or was that a fake asthma attack?
Well, she was having a fake asthma attack.
Oh, that would be really smart.
She faked it.
Yeah, she faked it.
Yeah,
she did. Oh,
she was faking the asthma attack. Yeah.
I didn't even get that.
Yeah, she was
the
faking
second
it.
that she
And
walks
she was
away,
like,
you
oh,
see
good,
her, like,
the
pop
asthma's
back
gonna
up.
kill her.
The old fake asthma pushed him out of the window move.
And if she would have finished the job there, would the little girl wouldn't have gone with her?
I don't think so. But
I don't know.
if
she would have remembered.
I think at that point, if she had gotten the baby, she would have just left with the baby.
Yeah.
Oh, that's true. Yeah.
I didn't want to introduce the child killing scenario in this, knowing our guest here doesn't care for it. That. All right, so I guess my next question though is if you were going to make a sequel, because
let's face it, baby, these days you gotta have a sequel.
So I'll jump in on this one. I had two sort of ideas. I don't know which one I like better. I think this one sequel you could have is Marlene's husband, who has now lost Marlene.
Yeah.
Does the same thing, but just the reverse, like the opposite of this now. He's pissed that he's lost Marlene and he's going to go after her ex-boyfriend from a long time ago because he blames their relationship for why she's lost.
So same family, but it happens with the guy instead.
Yeah.
So the Manny that rocks the cradle?
The Manny
Where
that
are we
rocks
going?
the cradle. I like it. Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. Or, and what I think I probably like better is this movie, but it's Miss Doubtfire.
Toodaloo.
No.
Oh,
yeah. Yeah. That scene where he comes down with the bat and he goes into the kitchen and he looks and the fridge is up and he looks and Robin Williams pops his head open. Toodaloo! With the cream on it. Oh, Great. I want someone to cut this movie. You could easily, with the footage from both movies, cut
you
it.
could.
So that's the one-liner before every murder is toodaloo.
Oh, when Peyton goes down and says, "Oh, I want to make sure I don't burn dinner," and then you just instantly cut the scene of Robin Williams like trying to get the fire off his fake boobs.
So it sounds like you're just editing the movies together. It's not like it's even a sequel.
Well, it is in that. Well, no, it's not a sequel. It's just a reimagining.
Mitch, I don't know.
One is a sequel. One is a reimagining.
I don't know how to tell you this, but it's gonna be really hard to get the actor you want for this movie.
I already have all the footage I need.
This is Tupac
holograms
of
Tupac.
Tupac hologram levels. I knew it.
Amanda, what is your sequel?
I was thinking more like a Nanny Part 2, where the Peyton has a sister.
Oh, okay. I like that. Jill.
Yeah, but okay. To be fair, is this family ever going to do a nanny again, or is this a different family? This is
she'll go through an agency.
She's got to repair that greenhouse. When's she going to find the time?
I think Solomon will be the nanny.
Isn't it just like this is
Solomon's got to fix the fence.
Like this is the condemned Julianne Moore Memorial greenhouse. Like there's you can't put anything else up on that site, right? I mean, come on.
Yeah,
that's ridiculous.
Amanda, Jill. We already asked.
So she decides to not go the nanny route anymore. She takes her kid to daycare, but then the same thing happens.
So what is your worst nightmare? Just make this into a movie. So what's your daycare nightmare? And then just make that a movie.
Do we really want to go into that?
What is it called?
Jill's about to call her mom and be like, can you watch my babies?
Yeah, this was a very traumatizing movie for me.
Sorry, Jill.
I was about to text you guys at midnight last night when I finished it, when I knew you'd be asleep.
Oh,
and
no, we
yell
were
at
awake
you.
with Damien. Don't worry, we were awake.
Oh, well, you guys deserve
all
it.
night long.
That was punishment.
Jesus.
All right, so what is the name of this?
Oh, man. I don't have a good one. Do you?
I'm trying to think. So it's a daycare, like an evil daycare scenario. So is it like a worker at the daycare? Is that?
Or all of the workers.
Oh, is this like a cult?
No. Now you do like a Fast and Furious thing. The hands that rock the cradle.
Ooh, I like that one a lot.
That's
Aliens. Yeah, perfect.
Exactly.
Oh, that's good.
That was a better movie franchise than Fast and Furious. I should have gone that route. That's all right. Nate, what's your sequel?
Too Cradle, Too Furious. So my sequel is, so they show her getting pushed out the fence. She hits the fence. What if the Solomon guy wasn't good at building fences? And it collapsed. It was like a crumple zone almost. They only show her bleeding from like the mouth. They don't show her being dead. And then everyone like pre-celebrates and they're like, you know what? We'll take our sweet time getting down to the dad with broken legs in the basement. Let's like all celebrate first and like hug the other people. And then like, oh, maybe we should go downstairs and help your dad. He could be bleeding out, dying because like he broke his leg so bad it severed an artery, which is fine.
You just cut back and the body's gone.
Yeah, this is Halloween 2.
Yeah.
So in Halloween 1, he goes off the roof. They think he shot him. And then Halloween 2, they look down and like, oh, no one's there. No one's on the fence. So then she can go off and terrorize, I'm assuming, another family. I don't think she can come back to the same people. No, I take that back.
Plastic surgery.
Mrs. Doubtfire.
No. It's exactly Halloween. It's exactly Halloween 2 because the dad has to go to the hospital because his legs are shattered and other people have been injured. And then while they're at the hospital, she attacks him there. But then like all the sabotaging is like medical devices and people dying. Yeah. So it's literally exactly Halloween 2.
We really need to get a contact at A24.
Yeah.
All these sequels going to waste.
Lisa, your sequel.
Yeah. So my sequel.
The hand that rocks the bedpan. Sorry.
Sorry, I meant to ask your title. Yes. Excellent title. Excellent title. Love it.
Wow. So mine, the dad finally realizes, all the shit that happened and how he could have prevented it. He goes insane, develops a split personality. Split personality's name is Lloyd Braun. Ends up going to an insane asylum. Ends up working for George Costanza in New York.
Wow.
Serenity Now.
This is very well thought out.
Is this alter ego at least interesting or in any way? Because then I might be in.
So no one just got the reference.
No,
I got you.
You got it?
Now,
okay.
Yeah.
So the dad character is Lloyd Braun in Seinfeld, but there's an episode where he literally has gotten out of the insane
he's a recurring
asylum.
Seinfeld character.
Yeah.
Again, not super memorable, and to be honest.
Super memorable. The second I saw him, I was like, it's Lloyd Braun.
Oh my God. All right. Well, with that
I
said,
think it is just like this actor now, like in real life. Like I think I need to tone it back a little bit. I think
You hate this guy.
you're gonna send him a strongly worded letter. But you can't do that, Nate, not until you give us your rating and
Final cut.
Nate.
now I'm gonna go last.
Oh my God. All right, fine. We'll let Nate go last. Lisa.
Yeah, I mean, it stuck with me, and it made me yell at the screen. So that's a pretty.
I
good
yelled at the
sign.
screen too.
Yeah, me too.
Yeah, it was.
Yeah, it was like there were parts I was like, this bitch.
Yeah.
Oh my gosh.
I cussed a lot at the
It's
screen.
crazy. So I think it was. I enjoyed it for what it was. It was good. I definitely would classify it as horror. I don't. For me that it was very scary. So probably 7 out of 10.
Wow.
Broken fences.
This is 3.5 times better than The Omen. Okay, it's good to know.
Oh my God, you need to let that go.
Yeah,
I'm contractually obligated to mention like every 5th episode.
It was better than The Omen.
Oh shit!
It was.
With
For
hindsight,
me.
you're still like, yeah.
So of the nannies, she would
Yeah, I
rather
was like,
the Omen nanny.
the Omen had a nanny
versus-
also.
Yeah.
Okay. Wow.
Yeah, I'll piggyback off what you said. I would go 7 out of 10 breast pumps.
Wow.
Wait, but they come into. Oh, never mind.
But
Mitch, you know nothing, Mitch, about breast pumps. You know
so
nothing.
14 out of 10.
No. So yeah, no, I mean, yeah, I enjoy this movie. Obviously, I don't think it ages super well. Most of these things are. A lot of what we're saying is not very credible, is because we're saying this in 2018.
Yeah.
But the Mornay's Peyton character is
She's great. She's
great
she's
psycho
solid.
character. Yeah. Very, very. I mean, legitimately, I watched this movie and then it's like, oh, we need to do this because I think this would be perfect. A good film to watch even today. Kind of scary too that the victim blaming part of it is, not exactly an old topic when it comes to this kind of stuff.
True.
So
Yeah.
it is, still kind of timely in that regard. So yeah, 7 out of 10. Jill.
So, like I said earlier, when I watched this, I was traumatized and I was super tense the entire time I was watching the movie. So afterwards, I went to read the reviews and a lot of them were saying, oh, it was really hokey. It wasn't very believable. And I was like, it was terrifying to me. So I didn't think it was hokey. I would give it also 7 out of 10 empty asthma inhalers.
Nice.
Those people, they do not have children.
No. I just may have not been in the right mental frame to watch this movie. So thanks, guys.
She went she's like on a web forum that was only genetic engineers. So let's be fair. We gotta put that with a grain of salt there.
Amanda, how about you? What's your rating?
I think I was gonna go 6 out of 10 gynecologists. I found it more suspenseful.
Are you saying like 6 out of 10 gynecologists recommend this movie?
Yeah. Yes, recommended by gynecologists everywhere. No, I don't think I found it horror related, but I'm not quite up to. I don't have the baby yet, so
we gotta get these shots in while we can.
Yeah, it's so terrifying.
I found it a little more suspenseful and interesting watching Peyton as she devised all of these ruses throughout the movie.
Yeah.
But
so you're giving one point for every month that she breast pumped in anticipation of her revenge.
Yeah.
Okay.
And then there's a lot of good do's and don'ts throughout the movie.
So it was almost an instructional video.
Yeah.
You're getting points for the instructional stuff. Okay.
How not to do a nursery.
Yep. All right, Nate, lay it on us.
Yeah. So I thought the movie was okay. I think I'm probably the least positive about it, not just because of the dad. Although to be fair, I can't give a synopsis without saying the dad was terrible. I thought Ernie Hudson and Julianne Moore should have been like I feel like they had the wrong people leading the movie.
But were they as big, right? I don't remember. When did Ghostbusters come out? Was it before?
Oh, yeah. Ghostbusters was in the 80s. Yeah.
And I don't know what Julianne Moore had done right before this. If she was as big.
I don't know if she was quite as big.
I don't know that I could come up with other people to play the roles that they did is the problem. They were so good in those roles.
Yeah, they did a really good job.
Yeah, they were good. I think they just overshadowed like the parents. I just thought were just not great.
Yeah,
that's fair.
Rebecca De Mornay was awesome. So she was good. I mean, the face punch is like at least 3 points for me. Like minimum. It was very good. The shot for the surprise party was really good. The middle really dragged for me though in the movie. I really lost some interest, which usually never happens, but I wasn't a huge fan. And then the end got even ridiculous for me, which is saying something. So I'm gonna give it 5 out of 10 poorly constructed greenhouses.
Okay. All right, well, that's going to wrap it up for this week's episode. Nate, where can they find us?
Yeah, you can find us
where can they leave their references?
You can leave your references. Mitch won't read them, but you can leave them at our new fancy website at TexasPodcastMassacre.com. You can tweet us at TXPodMassacre. We're on Instagram, Facebook. You can email us at TexasPodcastMassacre@gmail.com. Check us out on all of your podcast platforms, Apple Podcasts, Spotify, Stitcher, TuneIn, Google Podcasts, and all your other podcast platforms.
Yep, well, that's going to wrap it up for this week's episode. Amanda and Jill, thank y'all so much for joining us for this one.
Thanks for having us.
All right, we wish you all.
Wow.
We wish you all the.
Look at all these moms areas in sync right here. I don't even know what's happening.
We wish you all the best luck in your nanny searches.
Go for references.
Craigslist all the way.
Well, from all of us here at Texas Podcast Massacre, thank you so much for tuning in, and just keep telling yourself it's only a movie. Good night.